This is the Toward a New World podcast with your host, Corinna Stoffel. As a space for all things regarding the global, collective transition we are in, we have conversations about transition, separation, and connection regarding oneself, others, and the earth. The aim is to educate, empower, and inspire. Welcome. Welcome to today's edition, Going Within to Find Purpose. The world seems to be falling apart, and we are surrounded by chaos because that is what is produced by the falling apart, by systems not working. And how often do we respond to chaos by fear? We become afraid, it's scary, we don't know where to go, we don't know what will happen. And so it really is time to go within, to become quiet, and to find purpose. I see two forms of purpose. There is the mental form of purpose, things that I have decided are my purpose due to my belief system. And then there is the purpose that comes from deep within us, something that is calling us. And for that, we need to go within to connect with it. For me, the going within at this time is not to escape the chaos. Rather, it is to allow to be surrounded by chaos while at the same time to also be still. Dust cannot settle when you keep stirring it up, and fear is sort of like continue to stirring up the dust. The chaos outside is outside of me, would show up in thoughts racing, trying to come, oh, this is the problem. How can I solve that? How can I find the solution? And I'll be honest with you, the temptation to go there is definitely there. And I am somebody who really prices this kind of real estate between the two ears. And I am a problem solver. So I often catch myself that this is where I start heading, and then no, stop, quiet down. What is required right now in this moment? And sometimes I have to say, it's sort of like, oh God, this is not working the way I wanted to, and where am I going to do? I'm going to be, and then we go into worst case scenario, I'm going to be homeless, and what is that serving? It doesn't serve anything. It just makes me frantic. Much better off if I can stay within my center and be calm and quiet. And being quiet allows the ideas to rise up. And having the question, what is required right now? That is asking for that idea. But if I'm going to be frantic, do I have the space to hear that idea, to perceive that idea or those ideas? There is also the option that some people take is they feel like they have to fight or control the chaos. And that is to some extent, again, going into creating ideas, protesting. And I'm not saying don't protest, but know how you protest and why you protest, and be aware of what it creates. For me, from my perspective, the protesting, the fighting does not work, because chaos is sort of an energy, and energy needs to move. And allowing the energy to move also allows it to dissipate. If I fight it, if I try to control it, then I'm putting up a block towards that energy moving. And the thought that I have is it an accident that I am alive? That we all are alive right now at this time? Maybe it isn't. Maybe there is something within us that we can contribute to that collective change that needs to happen. What ideas do we have when we calm ourselves down, when we connect with our insights? Why are we here? What can we contribute? That is a big question. And I get that calming ourselves down and being with those questions can also be scary. What if I don't find the answer? What if this is beyond me? Because if you really look, how much are we entrained to feeling powerless? We're not that big leader or that CEO or that famous person. What can I do? Be a measly person. But what can I do? What if I am willing to step into who I am? What if I am willing to listen to what God, the universe, the earth, however you want to call that another power that is greater than yourself, that is greater than me? What if I'm willing to step into that purpose? What I am asked to do? Because the chaos that we're having with all the different crises is due to the power down structure. There are people at the top, and then we have the pyramid to the masses. What if we invert that power structure? When the masses willing to step into who they are and what their purpose is and what they can contribute, what if that becomes the main thing? And stepping into my purpose doesn't make me better than anybody else. It may make me different. But then difference, diversity, is something that nature is actually fostering, that nature is requiring. Nature doesn't do well with monocultures, be it physically from just pine tree forests, from palm oil, uh, orchards, to sameness in people? What if there is beauty in having the different races, the differences between the individuals, the different personalities? And if each one goes within and brings forth their contribution, it is so utterly rich. And I know I can relate, and I have to admit, it took me years to be willing to step into my purpose. I had all those things that I was just talking about. Oh, then I'm better, and. But there is something that this chaos that is surrounding me, and being able to calm myself down to find my purpose, what I can contribute, really changed things. And part of that purpose is doing these podcasts. I've had experiences, I've learned about things that I can talk about that are a contribution, hopefully, to other people in this time of chaos. So I have the ability to perceive different possibilities. I am not functioning from the rules of how we are supposed to function, from how we are told this is how the world works. I was there. I believed that. And then I experienced that if I open myself, the world doesn't quite work that way. There are other things possible. What if magic is possible? We're so convinced that science and all of that magic is something that doesn't exist. And yet, I have taken a course on health to explore more in that department. And I have to say, I am absolutely stunned by the sophistication that nature has developed. We're nowhere near that. In our body, there are already quantum computers, or better said, quantum computer chips, not computers. And we've just invented a quantum computer chip. But it's already been for at least my lifetime, and I know it probably been in previous generations too. There have already been those. We are, with our science, beginning to catch up to where nature is. So, what are your abilities? What are your abilities that are a contribution right now at this point in time? And you may not initially see how that is a contribution, but what if you trust it? What if there is a reason why you, with your unique abilities, with your unique knowledge, are born at this point, are alive, not born, you are alive, at this point in time? What is your contribution? And are you willing to bring that, to put that into the pot? And what can happen? I talked about health, and I know someone who has a really in-depth knowledge about how cells work. and using that knowledge with the help of others, they translated that into engineering and created a machine that can recycle plastic bottles and tires. It's just extrapolation from what that person specifically knows. What if you have knowledge that is a contribution if we can extrapolate on it? Play with it. Play with your gifts and share them. Let's collaborate. Together, we can create solutions. Together, we can create something that is different, that moves us forward. And I've heard people talk about, what if this time is the time to create and come up with Humanity 2.0? What if there is a forward movement, that we're not stuck where we are right now? And what if this allows us to go beyond the fear that initially comes up? Are you willing to be part of that? I don't know where you are. I know where I am. And I will do what I can to contribute, to invite people to look at things from a different perspective. I will see you next week again. Take care.